Hi, everybody. I'm Mel Doerr, Chicago psychic medium and intuitive consultant, the Aloha shirt psychic. Boy, I got this Aloha shirt like 15 years ago at Hilo Hattie's in Honolulu, and it's silk, and I love silk. I just finished doing a show with Linda Grindle, and she's going to be on my show next Monday. So check out her show today and check out next Monday on my channel. So, I said when I got to 12,000 subscribers, I would give away 3 half-hour sessions, which I did. You got to watch the show from last Monday. It announces the winners. And when I get to 13,000, I'll do another 3 1.5-hour free sessions. So everybody hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for your support. And I also did a show with Violetta in Canada, and I'm going to have her on my show. Violetta is such a sweet, sweet lady. So hi, Violetta. And thanks to Linda Grindle, I've been able to interact with a lot of the psychics in the YouTube community, and it's kind of fun to meet new people and all those wonderful things. So thank you, Linda, darling. Linda calls me girlfriend. I don't mind that. Okay. A little bit to talk about today, or a lot to talk about. I'm so excited about this new pill coming out from Merck. I think it's called Molnupiravir, and it, I think, interferes with the way the virus replicates, and it's supposed to be 50% effective in keeping people from dying, who the unvaccinated who contract the virus. So it's a great treatment, I think, for people who have not been vaccinated, and even for those who have. I just hope the conspiracy theories don't come out about don't take this medicine and all of that stuff. Merck is getting emergency authorization, and the thing I like what they're going to do is cap it off, depending on the cost of it, depending on wealth of the country or the countries involved. So they're going to do it here and worldwide. And I think it says you take like 8 pills a day for, I forget how many days, after X amount of days of showing symptoms. And it's supposed to be pretty effective. I'm looking at it now, reading the efficacy. So it's really excited. So I think one good thing that the COVID epidemic has done is brought about a lot of vaccine research and a lot of antiviral research, which is pretty exciting if you're a science geek like me. Anyway, I'll keep you informed. I had COVID, as you well know, last year, and I participated in a trial study, and then I've gotten my shots, so I should probably sell my antibodies. Anyway, okay. So, what about Steve Bannon screaming for executive privilege, and Mark Meadows, Dan Scavino, Kash Patel, and the other ones kind of thumbing their middle fingers up to Congress like they did in the past, thinking they don't have to answer to the subpoena for them to testify? Well, Steve Bannon didn't even work for Trump when he's alleging executive privilege. And Steve Bannon actually said that Trump told Steve Bannon to claim executive privilege. Well, I'm not a lawyer, but Bannon admitted that Trump just told him that. So wouldn't that be obstruction on Trump's part, or interfering with a congressional investigation? I watched Glenn Kirshner, and he's making the comment, when is the Department of Justice going to start doing stuff? But my guides show me that the Department of Justice, I think, is investigating things behind closed doors. Even their own department, with a lot of the DOJ people Trump put in to try to overturn the election. A lot of investigations going on that we don't know about yet, but we will. So all I can say is, when I say I intuit, That means I'm psychicking. I'm getting psychic information. Psychicking, is there such word? I'm being shown. I intuit. Intuit is a verb in this case. But I intuit, in other words, my guides show me that if Meadows, Scavino, Patel, and Bannon do not answer the subpoena, then they'll be held in contempt. And in which case, they'll get arrested. Linda and I discussed that a couple of them would flip, and I do think a couple will flip. Bannon's not out of the woods either, because he's already been pardoned by Cheeto Head, and he can never be retried for that. But I do see that he's going to be indicted for other things he's done and convicted. Now, Bannon's thinking might be, well, I'll still be pardoned if Trump wins again. I do not see Donald Trump as president again. I just don't. He's got to watch his health. He's got to watch a lot of other factors. And I still see him under indictment. I don't see him serving jail time, but there's a lot more to come out about Trump. But Steve Bannon is, and these four guys are going to be in a world of hurt. I saw that smile Steve Bannon had, like, I'm above the law, you can't touch me. He looks like a smiling, slithering bucket of slime. But my guides tell me this is a playbook directly from Donald Trump, obviously. So, and I love the fact that the Biden administration said Donald Trump can't use executive privilege to keep from holding records back to Congress. And Donald Trump will file a lawsuit in courts, which he always does. He ties things up in court until he loses, that he can use executive privilege, but the courts won't withhold it, and he's going to have to testify. And if he doesn't, then he's going to be charged with defying a congressional order. I think that might be obstruction. Anyway, it'll get really interesting. Plus, my guides show me like a Hoover, a vacuum cleaner, and it's sucking up all these nasty things. And then across the vacuum cleaner, it's the Department of Justice. So the way I take that to mean is a lot of those people that Trump put in place in the Department of Justice that actively tried to influence the outcome of the election for Trump, they're going to be in hot water as well. So a lot coming to the surface about that. I said my guys showed me that Trump would invoke executive privilege. But essentially, as I said, it's a stall tactic to try and run out the clock until after the midterms, because the thinking is if the Republicans take over the House and the Senate, then this committee will go away. But I see the Democrats holding on to the House and the Senate, but they need to start to work together and grow a set and stand up and say, enough is enough of this obstructionism, enough of all this stuff, we've had it. I think they'll do that. Anyway, so I think it's a stall tactic. Their thinking is that the Republicans take back the House, then everyone knows that they'll halt this commission. But my guides show me Trump whispering something in McCarthy's ear, a lot of things actually. But what that means is that Trump, in my psychic opinion, has already discussed the midterms with McCarthy, and if the Republicans win the House, then he'll want McCarthy to put an end to this commission. It won't work. Shall I say it again? It won't work. It will not work. So, now Scott Perry, what about that one? Did you hear that one? it came out that he was the center of efforts to keep Cheeto Head, or to help Cheeto Head overturn the election results. And then it came out that Cheeto Head asked Richard Donahue, which was the Justice Department's second in command under Bill Corrupt Barr, second in command, for his cell number, right? So lawmakers could call him regarding the election, and Trump suggested that Perry contact Donahue. And then Perry did, and he told Donahue that improper ballot counting was taking place in Pennsylvania. Whoa, how's that for meddling in a federal election? I mean, that traces it right back to Cheeto Head. So that's where I see indictments coming down. My guides show me. And what about the House Freedom Caucus, that ultra-right organization that the hardline conservatives, fascist as I say, with very close ties to Cheeto Head Trump, took an active role in helping Trump strategize ways to undercut Biden's presidential win? Whoa. But Perry took a direct role trying to help Cheeto Head install Trump loyalists in the DOJ, Department of Justice. I'll say it again. My guides show me that Perry took a direct role in trying to help Cheeto Head install Trump loyalists in the Department of Justice who would assist in undermining the legitimacy of Biden's win. Whoa. Think about that. If that's not tampering, if that's not breaking the law, then I'm a rocket scientist. Pennsylvania State Senator Doug Mastricano, I think, and Trump campaign attorney Cleta Mitchell are also under investigation. And I see convictions there as well. They're under investigation by the January 6th Commission. So, very interesting, huh? See what plays out. It's coming out of the woodworks, you all. Okay. Boy, here in Chicago, Southwest Airlines, there were a lot of shutdowns over the weekend. We have two big airports here in Chicago. O'Hare is huge, and Chicago Midway is way on the south side. It's not as large, but it's a hub actually for Southwest. So people were stranded. It was horrible. I don't think Southwest flies into O'Hare, but they do in Midway. And they said the shutdown was because of weather and air traffic control. And I'm thinking, my guides are showing me there's more to that meets the eye. Or 1,000 flights canceled. I am intuiting they had some kind of internal glitch with their computer systems or something, and that's why they had to shut down. And today is Indigenous Peoples Day. So to all Indigenous peoples here, and also on the islands of Hawaii, happy Indigenous Peoples Day. It's the October the 11th. I think it's the first or second Monday in October. So I'm glad that we're at least observing that. I think we need to make reparations to the Indigenous people. And at some point, my guides show me that will be done. So good. Ooh, what about Facebook's moral bankruptcy? Oh my goodness, that the whistleblower, she came forward with all those documents. And I heard that Zuckerberg made a comeback, but it wasn't a very good one. It kind of shows they were morally bankrupt. And it even went to Instagram and WhatsApp. You know, that they allowed like all this misinformation, foreign governments to track people, to spread misinformation. the things that they allowed to happen to women and younger women about body image and things like that. This investigation that this whistleblower, she is going to uncover just myriads and myriads of stuff. And I asked my guides if Facebook or Instagram would even survive. And I'm hearing, no, they're going to have a lot of problems. And the thing is, you know, it really came out that it threatened the security of this country. So because of what she brought out, I see a lot of congressional investigations, and it's going to reveal a lot of underhanded stuff. So I think my guides show me as a result of all this, it's going to cause laws being passed where these social media outlets have to be responsible, that they cannot promote lies and misinformation. They can't allow bullying. There's going to be a lot of, we like the FCC, but to social media. And I'm in favor of that. Anyway, we'll see what happens. I'm thinking about stopping my Facebook account because I can't morally agree with a social media platform that allowed all that to happen and knew it was happening and didn't do anything about it. That's frightening. But my guides show me they will catch their karma too. All right. Somebody asked about infighting among the Democrats. And that's going to continue for a while. But Sinema and Manchin, I see out of office. Specifically, Sinema, she's not faring too well in her own home state. And the fact that she went to this rally that Republicans supported for her and made contributions to her campaign for her not to pass certain legislation. I'm sorry, that should be against the law. So she's in very hot water. In fact, my guides show me she'll be primaried out. And Manchin, I'm intuiting the people of West Virginia. I've had it with him as well. They've just created a rift and dissension among the Democratic Party, but the Democrats are going to grow a pair and say, we've had it, no more of this. And so the Democrats are going to start getting more mouthy and fighting back, and also take the offensive as opposed to the defensive with all this crap that Trump is throwing out there. And Trump's popularity is waning, but he's still got his core supporters. My guides tell me this American apartheid will end. It's going to happen just like it happened in the McCarthy era. The people start standing up and speaking out, and then there's investigations, and anybody that associated themselves with McCarthy kind of slinked away. And that's exactly what's going to happen, I think, with all this Trump stuff. And speaking of McCarthy, the House McCarthy guy, there's going to be a lot of stuff that comes to the surface about him as well. I see him under investigation. Marjorie Taylor Greene, gone. Matt Gaetz, indicted and convicted. Linda Grindle and I were talking today. I think he has some kind of rally. It was supposed to be in some kind of ballroom, and they took it outside. There were only like 9 people. And I said, Linda, that was a misinformation. They actually had it in an outhouse, which they didn't, but it sounded good. So Gaetz, you're on your way out. You know, people are worried about Biden's popularity because it's taken a huge hit. But even if Biden's lowest numbers, he's still more popular than Trump was at Trump's higher numbers. I think the problem with the lower numbers is, you know, the COVID-19 crisis. And I think Biden should publicly say he's declaring an absolute all-out war on COVID-19. I think the Afghanistan thing, but remember, Trump negotiated with the Taliban to get US out of Afghanistan. Excuse me. Trump negotiated with the Taliban to end that war and get us out. So Biden just inherited a mess from Trump. So I see in this infrastructure deal, people are losing faith in it. I see it going through. It will be a compromise. I saw Hillary Clinton today on The View, and she said she thinks it'll go through, as do I. And I think once that happens, Biden's numbers will start to come up. You know, there's a lot that can happen between now and the midterms over the next 10 or 11 months. And so I see Biden gaining popularity again. But this in-party fighting because of Sinema and Manchin among the Democrats, it's got to stop. And it will. I think the progressives and the moderates in the party will at least get their heads together and come up with a strategy. Yay. The thing I like about the infrastructure is that it gives free college, community college to people. And I like that. Anyway, I want to read the bill. I don't know how to get a copy of it. It's 1,000 pages, but I want to read it. I wonder how many politicians have actually read that bill. And I guarantee, I will bet you $1 to a donut, it's damn few. So anyway, I want to read the bill. Okay, that's the in-party fighting. Once again, people are asking about Merrick Garland. Why is he not doing anything? Well, my guides show me him behind a closed door, and he's got all this pile of papers, and he's going through each one of them methodically. So my guides tell me that Merrick Garland is doing a lot behind closed doors, and he's methodically going through a lot of stuff and trying to weed out with the Hoover, as I said, the beasties that were put in the Department of Justice by Donald Trump. So it's just, he's overwhelmed. But my guides show me he is doing a lot that he just isn't telling us about. You know, Merrick Garland is not one who likes the spotlight. He works better behind the scenes, in my opinion. And my guides tell me that's exactly what's happening. So my feeling is if the Democrats start campaigning and get it together and speak up against Manchin and Sinema and do what they need to do, all right, and pull the party together, that they'll hold on to the House and the Senate and the midterms. And I see after the midterms that some Republican senators and members of the House will resign because of these investigations and what they're going to reveal. I don't think they'll do it before the midterms, though. Mitch McConnell, we can't let them spend that much money. I'm going to not let anything Biden wants go through. This debt ceiling, I'm giving in to that, but we've got to reduce spending. Excuse me, Mitch Turtle. You know, the debt ceiling is us paying debts that we've already made. It's like with a credit card. You make a charge, you got to pay it. And part of that debt ceiling was debt that you allowed, Mr. McConnell, that you allowed Donald Trump to spend. After all, he spent more money than any president in American history for failed projects that didn't even work, like the wall, all of that stuff, overturning Obamacare, which blew up in his face. So Mitch, let me get this straight. You're trying to withhold money. You're almost going to let the government shut down because you said you gave in to pay back debt that you allowed Trump to spend? Do I get this? Think about it. Maybe they should audit the elections in Kentucky. Mitch, he still thinks he's the majority leader of the Senate. Just see him walk up to that microphone. And Schumer stepped right in front of him. But you know, the obstructionism, only thing Biden wants, I'm not going to put through. Wonder what excuse he's using now. He's used every other one in the book and then backpedaled along with them. So, Mitch, your new name is Backpedaler. Oh, I'm not a backpedaler. I can ride a bike. Yeah, right. Okay. Anyway, I see Mitch gone. Good. Okay. I think Trump is going to keep asking, to keep other records from by executive privilege from being turned over to the commission. And each time Biden's going to say, nope, can't do it, Donald. You're not president anymore. You can't invoke executive privilege. Climate change. Wow. Chicago area in Illinois has got tornado warnings out today. I understood there was a whole bunch of them in Oklahoma. I mean, the temperature here in Chicago has been 75. One day it was 80, and that's unheard of for October. And so it's really accelerating. But ultimately, I feel like we will get a grip on climate change. I don't know if we'll be able to stop the damage that is done, but we certainly would be able to stop future damage on it. So that's what's going on. Now I'm looking and seeing all these representatives like Scalise refuse to admit Trump lost the 2020 election. It's like, hello, how many audits can you do? And did you hear that the CEO of the Cyber Ninjas is refusing to do any more audits? Well, yeah, he doesn't want to get sued anymore. By the way, those voting machine companies that are suing people like that are absolutely going to win. Trump's big rally, did you hear about that one? And people were bullying people. Have we become a nation of bullies? Donald Trump is a bully. Is that what we want? Do we want to scream about people who decide to wear a face mask and their kids wear a mask to protect their kids? Do we want people like Marjorie Taylor Greene bullying, but yet when people stand up to the bullies, they slink off? I mean, is that what America's about? No, it is not. It absolutely is not. And so my guides tell me there's going to be a nursing shortage coming. And so what I see coming is maybe offering some kind of free education, or other than that, saying to people who want to go into nursing that we will give you a loan to pay for it. And if you work in healthcare for X amount of years afterwards, then you don't have to pay it back. So what I'm seeing with all these nurses going to be retiring, they're going to have to import nurses from foreign countries until they can get enough nurses through school here. So I think we're going to be looking at a nursing shortage that'll last at least probably 2 or 3 years in this country, maybe 4. Let me see here. What else do I have? Well, I'm looking at it. All right. That's pretty much all I've got. Once again, thank you. I'm going to cut it kind of short. I've got a doctor's appointment later. But once again, I'm going to say these Trump lies that are perpetuating, like that he supposedly won the election when he didn't. And the only reason that they're doing that is because some of the GOP is because they want to have Trump's base loyal to them, but it will backfire. There's about 44% saying that they want Trump to run for president, but I don't know. I just don't see it. I could be wrong, and if I am, I'll come back and say I'm wrong, but I just don't see it. There's too much that's going to happen. And by the way, I see Trump getting a divorce. So we'll see what happens with that. Anyway, enough about Trump. I see Biden's numbers increasing. And I see some strong leadership that's going to come out of the Democratic Party. And I got a funny feeling that Al Franken might put his hat in the ring for Senate again. I hope he does. A short version real quick. I see investigations coming out about the whole Kavanaugh thing that the FBI didn't take a look at. And also, was there dark money going into him? Yes. And what about Amy Coney Barrett? and also taking a look at Gorsuch, I still see Biden adding more justices on the court. And so, a couple Republican justices leaving the court. It'll take a while, but it will happen. So the other thing is the women's law, the abortion law in Texas. One judge said, no, it's unconstitutional, but yet the fifth District Federal Court, very conservative. One of those judges was appointed by Trump. What does that tell you? I think one by Bush, said, no, they're going to let the law stand for right now until there's appeals filed or something, I forget. But ultimately, I do not see that law standing up. Nor do I see the voter suppression law standing up. And at some point, an end to this unfair gerrymandering. So, yes, at some point, the infrastructure bill will pass. At some point, we'll get fair voter laws. These are just Republican ploys to try to screw with the midterms. And if they can create enough doubt about election, then people won't want to go vote. Well, everybody vote. It didn't work in California when they tried to recall the California governor. That was a Republican behind that. So anyway, everybody please speak up, get busy, write your congressperson. We won't tolerate this. We're about human rights. You know, we won't allow our human rights to be violated. And get your voices. Yay. All right, I'm rambling as always. Everybody have a nice day. Once again, happy Indigenous Peoples Day. And I'll talk to you later. All right, namaste.